Welcome to Miss Smith's Math Tutorials. I'm Miss Smith. In this video tutorial, we're going to be talking about slope-intercept form. And slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Our m is our slope, and our b is our y-intercept. That's what we really need to worry about right now. So we touched on slope-intercept form in my most recent video where we talked about slope in general. But this is where we're really going to dig into how can we get our information into slope-intercept form when we're given some different situations. So there's an important formula that we need to memorize. So this formula is right up here. It's called Pointslope Form. This is your friend. It will help you get things into slope-intercept form. Okay, there are other methods, there are other ways. In my opinion, this is the best, most consistent, easiest to remember. Just the simplest way to do it. Point-slope form. So this formula is y minus y1 equals m, which is slope, times x minus x1. Okay, and it'll make a little more sense once we actually start using it. But this is your friend. Please memorize it. Okay? All right, so I love that it's called point-slope form because that's exactly what you need to be able to use it. All I need is a point and a slope, and I can use this and get it into slope-intercept form. I love that the name is in the title. Okay? So if I was given a point, so let's just say 4, 7. So this is an XY point on a graph. And I was told my slope is 3. Well, I've got a point and I've got a slope. So it's a perfect candidate for point-slope form. So let's see this formula in action. So it's y minus y1. Well, I only have one y and that's my 7. So y1 equals m, so that's going to be my 3, times x minus x1. So that'll be my 4. Okay? Now, looking at this, remember we taught you guys that anytime you have something in front of a parentheses, we need to distribute it. We need to get rid of those parentheses as soon as possible. All right, so I'm going to bring down my y minus 7 equals 3 times x is 3x. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. All right, I'm so close to having my y alone, but this negative 7 is still hanging out there. So I need to go ahead and get rid of it. So I'm going to get rid of it by adding it. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So notice that I'm combining that 7 with the negative 12 because I'm recognizing those are like terms. I cannot combine that 7 with that 3x. So that's why I'm not trying that. So just a good thing to note. So let me bring down my 3x. Negative 12 plus 7 is negative 5. Is this now in y-intercept form? Y equals mx plus b? Yeah, so I know it looks a little weird because you might see in the formula, in slope-intercept form, this is a plus b. It is okay that this is a minus here. That's fine. This could be negative, that could be negative, that does not matter. So what matters is that you've got a y alone, you've got an m and a coefficient of x, and you've got your plus b or minus b, and that's your y-intercept. So, if you've got a point and a slope, use point-slope form. They're also going to give you 2 points, and they're going to say, take these 2 points and write it in slope-intercept form. So, we're going to go through the same process, we just have to do a little more work, because I have 2 points in this case, but I don't have a slope. And in order to use point-slope, I've got to have a point and a slope. So, I don't have a slope, but I do have the ability to find slope when given 2 points. We talked about that in my last video. We said that we could find m, slope, when given 2 points, and the formula we use is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that's another formula we need to know. This is a formula heavy unit. So these are formulas that are going to keep coming back throughout the semester, so just get them memorized now. Knock it out. Okay, so I can use this to find my slope given my 2 points. Once I have my slope, I can do point-slope form. We just got to get it first. So let's do that. I think it helps to label what is going to be my y1s and y2s and all that stuff. So I'm going to make my y2 my second y. I think that makes the most sense. I'm going to make my y1 my first y. I'm going to make my x2 my second x. And my x1 my first x. Remember, these are in xy form. Plugging that into the formula, y2, 5, minus y1, 6, over x2, 9, minus x1, 8. So now we just need to solve this. 5 minus 6 is negative 1. And 9 minus 8 is positive 1. So reducing this, m equals negative 1. Okay, so now I have a slope and I have a point, so I can do point-slope form. Now you might say, okay, well, which point do I choose? It does not matter. You just pick one and stick with it. Whichever one you pick, you should get the same answer. So for right now, I'm just going to pick this one. Okay, so I've got a point, I've got a slope. Let me use my formula. Y minus y1, so that'll just be, I know it says y2 because we were using it here, but because I picked this point, that'll now be my y1. So y minus 5 equals m, my slope, negative 1, times x minus x1, 9. So just like over here, I've got to distribute what I have in front of the parentheses first. So I'm going to get y minus 5 equals negative x plus 9. My y is almost alone, but not quite. I still need to get rid of this 5. What I do to this side, I have to do to this side. So it looks like my final answer is going to be y equals negative x, 9 plus 5 is going to give me 14, positive 14. So in this case, we did get it into slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. Now you might say, well, where's the m? Remember, this is an understood 1. Our m is our coefficient of x. Okay, it's what's linked through multiplication to that x. So our slope in this case is negative 1, and our y-intercept is positive 14. This has been Miss Smith's Math Tutorials. I'm Miss Smith. Thank you.